on this computer. Okay, here we go. Are the two of them close? Cooperman inquiries. Mom makes a face. Doctor, after the accident, my ex-husband came to shout and accuse and punch the emergency room wall. Have you seen him here since then? While his son lay in a coma? That should give you an idea of the relationship between my boys and their father and his new family. I don't know any, Helen, I volunteer. But you can't go by me because I don't know anybody. This is just a little blonde girl in a blue dress with white lace, kind of dressed up like maybe she's going to church or something. But why I remember her and nothing else, I can't tell you. Definitely not Helen, Mom concludes. She has dark hair like her mother. I turn to the doctor. Am I just crazy? Of course not, he replies. In fact, this little blonde girl suggests that your memory isn't gone at all. It's only your ability to access it that's been damaged. I believe that your missing life will come back to you, or at least some of it will. This girl might be the key. I want you to keep thinking about her, who she is, and why she's so important that you remember her when everything else has disappeared. I honestly try, but there are too many other things going on. Now that I'm not dead, the hospital is suddenly in a big hurry to get me out of there. Dr. Cooperman runs tests on every part of me except my left earlobe. Turns out my brain may be short-circuited, but the rest of me still works. So how come I ache all over? Muscular is his diagnosis. From the fall. Or should I say, he chuckles at his own joke, the sudden stop at the bottom. Every muscle from nose to toes tenses up from that kind of shock. Tack on 96 hours of complete inactivity and you stiffen all over. It's normal. It'll pass. My only real injuries are a concussion and a separated left shoulder. Turns out my bad diving form saved my life. My shoulder hit the ground a split second before my head, absorbing just enough of my head landing to keep the impact from killing me. Mom brings clothes for me to change into. I suppose I shouldn't be so blown away that they fit. They're my clothes, after all, but of course they're new to me. I can't help wondering if I have a favorite shirt or a super broken in pair of jeans. I don't remember the car either. A Chevy van? Or the house? I take the opportunity to fill in a few blanks about myself. I am not the child of millionaires. I have no great love of cutting the grass, or maybe that's that one's on Johnny. I got an excuse. I've been in a coma. I note the window I must have climbed out of since it's the only one with roof access. For some reason, I expected it to be higher and I'm embarrassed. Like it's an insult to my manliness that such a puny fall scrambled my brains. When Mom opens the door, a chorus of voices cry out, "Surprise!" A makeshift banner hangs across the living room. "Welcome home, champ." A heavy-set man about Mom's age steps forward, enfolds me in a crushing bear hug, and rubs his knuckles up and down my head. "Good to have you back, son." Mom is horrified. "Stop it, Frank. He has a concussion." The man, my father, lets me go, but he's defiant. "Ambrose can take a few licks, Tina. You're talking about an all-county running back." Okay, so what does running back have to do with what sport?
Football.
Yep. All-county running back, Dad, Johnny amends. "You heard the doctor. Chase can't play football this season." "Dopey doctor," my father snorts. "What does he weigh? 140 soaking wet?" He faces Mom. "Don't turn him into a wimp like you did with Johnny." "Thanks. That means a lot," my brother says dryly. Why are you here, Frank?" My mother is quickly losing patience. "How many times have I asked you not to use your key anymore? This is not your house, and it hasn't been for a long while." "I pay the mortgage on this place," he growls. All at once, the cloud lifts from his face and he's grinning. "Besides, we had to be here to welcome home the conquering hero." "Falling off a roof doesn't make me a hero," I mumbled. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about my dad that makes me nervous. It isn't physical. In fact, for a middle-aged guy, he's pretty energetic and spry, and despite the paunch and the thinning hair, his smile is totally overpowering. To see him is to want to like him. Maybe that's the problem, I decide. He's too confident that he's welcome everywhere and going by mom, he isn't. Not here anyway. He's brought his new family, a wife named Corrine, who doesn't look much older than Johnny, and Helen, my 4-year-old half sister. Mom was right. Helen's definitely not the girl in the blue dress. It's no big deal, I guess, but I'm disappointed. I was kind of hoping for one thing in my life to be connected to reality. Although I'm meeting them for the first time, I have to remind myself they already know me. For some reason, they don't seem to like me very much. Corrine hangs back, and the little kid stays firmly attached to her mom's skirt. They look at me like I'm a time bomb about to go off in their faces. What did I ever do to them? My father seems to be settling in for a long visit, but mom's having none of that. He has to rest, Frank, she says. Doctor's orders. What? He's chopping wood. He's resting? Alone, she insists, in his room where it's quiet. He sighs. Aunt's at a picnic, that's what you are. He hugs me again, squeezing slightly less this time. Great to have you back, champ. Sorry it couldn't be more of a celebration. But Nurse Killjoy over here, he inclines his head in my mother's direction. I stick up for her a little. She's right about the doctor. He said I have to take it easy because of my concussion. Concussion, he snorts. When I played football, I got my conk bonked plenty of times. You rub a little dirt on it and you're good. Corrine appears at her husband's elbow. We're so glad you're okay, Chase. Come on, Frank, let's go. I feel like I have to fill the hostile silence that follows. So I lean down to my kid sister. That's a nice doll you've got there. What's her name? She shrinks back like I'm about to eat her. Eventually, Dad's gone, taking Corrine and Helen with him. Johnny goes out to meet some friends, and Mom orders me upstairs to get a head start on the relaxation that almost caused a civil war. She has to show me which room is mine because I don't remember any of it. Not the wooden staircase with the faded floral runner up the center, not the narrow hallway with the low ceiling, not the wooden door with the crack down the center panel. My mother sees me evaluating the damage and is momentarily surprised by my surprise. Then she tries to explain it away. That's probably my fault. I always let you and your friends play sports in the house. You're too big for that now, or the house is too small. Which sports? I ask. Tears are coming to her eyes. This is hard for her. Football, soccer, badminton, you name it. Being in my room is the weirdest experience of all. It's my room. There's no question about that. The walls are covered with newspaper clippings about football teams I starred on and lacrosse games I won. That's me in the pictures, diving into end zones and being mobbed by ecstatic teammates, more unfamiliar faces. There are trophies too, shelves of them. Chase Ambrose, top scorer. Chase Ambrose, MVP. Most yards from scrimmage, team captain, state champions. I'm really somebody. I only wish I knew who. It takes some doing to build up my courage, but I eventually make it over to the window. I was wrong before. It's plenty high. I'm lucky to be alive. It takes some doing to build. It's like I've been parachuted into the middle of someone else's life. Someone who looks exactly like me, yet isn't me. The doctor is right. I need to rest. I sit down on the edge of my bed. My bed. There's a phone on the nightstand. The screen cracked. I wonder if I had it with me when I fell. I press the home button. It's dead. There's a charging cable right beside it, and I plug it in. After a couple of minutes, the display lights up, and there I am again with 2 other kids, complete strangers. Although you can tell from the pose that the 3 of us are close friends. It's a selfie with the kid on my right as a photographer. I'm in the middle and the smallest of the 3 of us, which is surprising since I'm a pretty big guy. It must be Halloween because there are little kids in costume in the background. I'm wielding a baseball bat, holding it high. Hanging off the tip of it is a mangled, ruined jack-o'-lantern. The screen goes dark and I press the button again. The image of the Triumph Pumpkin Bashers reappears. I can't take my eyes off of it. All 3 of us wear wild, gleeful, unholy, cake-eating grins. What kind of person am I? And so that'll take us into chapter 2.